The Diner is open for business, being released to you on this President's Day 2025. Whether you like it or not, Donald Trump is still your president, right, guys?
Looking at you, Tony.
Yay,
Yep.
hey now. That's fighting words.
I'll put it this way. Even though he's the president of the United States, he's not my God and all that.
Now, yeah, we don't worship him, but we get it. He's still your president. Biden was our president from 21 till 25. We accepted it. We moved on. So just do the same. Now, the last one we did a very politically heavy episode revolving around the California wildfires. Yeah, the state's doing okay, but now, of course, there's been talks that maybe Kamala Harris should run for governor in a couple years. What do you guys think about that?
Oh, no. No. Hell
Not
no.
a chance.
Oh, no, I would definitely not like that. Now, we're not going to get any more Newsom because his term limits are up, but yeah, Kamala running for governor, I wouldn't vote for her, but I just know that there are too many California liberals that would.
Oh, boy.
But anyway, we're going to do more of a TV, entertainment, movie-centric episode because, you know, it is always fun to make fun of Hollywood when they get something wrong, which is 90% of the time.
Boom.
But, you know, we do appreciate it when they eventually get something right?
Yep.
Yeah.
This is episode 4 of Burgers and Fries at the Diner. So, of course, we talk mainly pop culture, entertainment, music, and sometimes politics. I'm Desert Cow 22, but you can call me Anthony if you wish. With me on this edition, we have the Minnesota man who, if he was at the Super Bowl, would join in the chorus of boos for Taylor Swift. It's Thriller Wolf, aka Greg. How you doing?
Doing good.
So, is there anything else you wanted to bring up about the Super Bowl?
Yeah, you mean besides Taylor Swift being booed at?
Not only was she booed, but Donald Trump was at the game and he was loudly cheered.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, times have changed.
And you got woke white women trying to defend Taylor Swift.
It is what it is. But I think a lot of the people who booed her were probably just booing the fact that her boyfriend / whatever, his team was getting his ass kicked by the Eagles.
Well, like I said about Taylor Swift before, a left wing with 2 bony thighs and along with two small breasts.
That's right. But now, and again, I had family in Kansas City. They were not too happy that they lost, but at the same time, they did just win 2 in a row a couple years before. And I'm still happy with the Rams winning the Super Bowl a few years ago. So other than that, I really don't care. I didn't watch the halftime show. I myself was too busy playing Age of Empires in the Truckers Lounge to care. Speaking of Pat, we have the Kansas moviegoer. This guy would see any Marvel film that came out, even if the world was taken over by cockroaches after nuclear war. That's Mr. Pat 55, aka Pat. How you doing?
Good. Yeah, that kind of reminds me of that one Fairly Odd Parents episode when I think it was Cosmo that got like an army of roaches and was taking over Dimsdale. It just kind of made me think of that.
I remember that one. It was Timmy who's like, I wish I knew what a cockroach was thinking. And then when that happened, it goes, world domination.
Oof.
Yeah, and that was when Wanda was away at the Fairy World Spa.
Right. That reminds me, I need to do a 2000s Nicktoons worst to best. Eventually, I got to do that one.
Yeah, you should.
I really should. But
I would watch it.
I appreciate it. So anyway, we'll first be talking a very simple question about the Oscars. But later on, Pat will talk about a very recent Marvel movie that is possibly their lowest rated one so far. And at the end, we're going to give our honest opinions on the final 5 episodes of Cobra Kai. But you know what? I have to ask this big question. What the flying fuck is wrong with the Oscars this year?
There are 13 nominations for movies starring trans women and all that.
Okay, it's not because it was starring a trans woman. Okay, Emilia Perez It's because it's a movie that a lot of people don't like. People in the LGBT community don't like it. The trans people don't like it. Mexicans don't like it. It's people of all walks of life consider this movie to be an insult, and yet it got 13 Oscar nominations.
I guess someone that's in charge of the Oscars said, "You want 13 nominations? You need to bend over so we can smash you."
I don't know, but
I don't understand how it could like get more Oscars than The Godfather and Ben-Hur, which, by the way, are far more superior movies than Emilia Perez's film.
Yeah, they are. I mean, I have this list according to awardsdatabase.oscars.org. Only 2 films have been nominated for 14. One of them is All About Eve. The other one is Titanic, which, come on, man, it's Titanic. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
13 nominations: Gone with the Wind, From Here to Eternity, Mary Poppins, Forrest Gump, Shakespeare in Love, Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, Chicago, Benjamin Button.
Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf?
Yeah. Wait, Emilia Perez is just as good as those movies? No.
Yeah, bullshit.
Yeah. What's that word again, Greg?
Bullshit.
That's right.
You owe me a soda.
Now, 12 nominations. Let's okay. So this Emilia Perez has more nominations than A Streetcar Named Desire. It has more nominations than Ben-Hur. And Schindler's List, it has more nominations than that? What?
Yeah, I don't get that.
The English Patient, it has more nominations than Gladiator. I'm definitely not entertained by that. It has more nominations by The King's Speech and Lincoln? What?
Fake news, I tell you.
How about films with 11 nominations? Okay, so Emilia Perez has more nominations than Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. It has more nominations than The Godfather Part 2, than Gandhi, than Chinatown, than West Side Story, than The Color Purple, than Amadeus. What? Amadeus is one of the greatest movies of all time.
And
my mom and I actually watched it a long time ago. It was a really good movie.
It's a great movie. It has more nominations than Saving Private Ryan, or as the porn name is, Shaving Ryan's Privates.
When you mentioned about West Side and all that, are you talking about the remake or the original movie?
The one that does not have Rachel Zegler in it.
Good.
I'm surprised that Avengers Endgame and Black Panther aren't even on this list.
I know. It has more nominations than The Aviator, another great movie. Let's see.
What
What
I've
else?
seen that one.
You've never seen The Aviator?
No.
You
Is
should.
that a Disney movie or something?
No, it's not. It's a pretty long movie about Howard Hughes, but it's very well done. Leonardo DiCaprio, Kate Blanchett. I always liked it, but I was always fascinated by the Howard Hughes story.
Yeah, it's kind of like how I didn't even see 2001: A Space Odyssey, which I got to get around to seeing.
That's all right. But again, this has more nominations than Rocky. It has more nominations than Star Wars.
Rocky was nominated?
Rocky won Best Picture in 1976, dude.
Huh.
Emilia Perez has more nominations than Braveheart. It may not be a historically accurate movie, but it's still good. It has more nominations than Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon? Than Master and Commander? Like,
wow.
Jesus Christ.
A lot of these movies, except for maybe Sound of Music, The Godfather, the Rocky, Star Wars, Braveheart, a lot of these movies, the other ones I have not seen.
Plenty of great movies you still have not seen yet, Pat. That's a good thing. How about we talk about what are the movies that are getting nominated this year? And then after we'll do that, we'll talk about the movies that made the most bank at the box office this year. How about we do that as well? So here.
Yeah.
So I know none of us really talk about seeing the Oscars. I don't think we remember the last time we watched the Oscars. Do any of you remember the last time you legitimately watched the Oscars from start to finish?
I've only seen the one when Seth MacFarlane hosted, which garnered some controversy over one song he sang.
You mean the song about "We Saw Your Boobs"? We saw your
Yeah,
boobs.
that one.
Was that an
I'm
actual?
gonna be honest.
Was that actually at the Oscars?
I kind of was like singing it to myself. I
Well, that
couldn't
song is
help it.
outdated because now there's a movie called No Hard Feelings with Jennifer Lawrence. I think you see her boobs in that one.
Yeah,
But anyway,
I did see that one.
but I don't know if that was an Oscar moment. I mean, I think the last big Oscar moment everybody talks about is when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock in the face.
Yep.
I mean, you can just see him
And,
right now. It's like, keep Emilia Perez name out your fucking mouth.
And I think it was for the Golden Globe Awards is with Ricky Gervais.
Okay, again, not the Oscars, but so many of the biggest moments I don't think have been Oscars. Okay, I think one of the Oscars that came recently, they did a Batman parody where two former Batman villains pointed out Batman in the crowd. And of course, they pointed out Michael Keaton. They didn't point out George Clooney or Val Kilmer or Christian Bale. They pointed out Michael Keaton because he is Batman.
Yep.
But anyway, so none of us can really remember a time when we watched the Oscars from start to finish. I do remember watching a clip where they're on the streets and they're asking these people on the streets of Hollywood Boulevard, and they're asking, "Hey, so what did you think of The Aviator?" Never saw it. Okay, so what did you think of $1 Million Baby? Never saw it. What did you think of White Chicks? Oh, love that movie. That movie was great.
Oh yeah, that one is freaky.
But that's the point, is the Oscars typically are not the movies that appeal to the general masses. Not a lot of people, the Oscars films that win are often films that I guess just don't make that much of an impact in the box office. They don't make much of an impact in pop culture. Every now and then they do, like Lord of the Rings doing a clean sweep when Return of the King came out, but those are the exceptions rather than the rules. So let's preview a complete list of the 2025 Oscar nominations. We're not going to say all of them. We'll just do the major ones. And this is from townandcountrymag.com. So I'm going to give you the list of Best Picture nominations. So Anora, have you seen it?
Nope.
Okay.
What was it?
Anora.
No.
Okay. The Brutalist, have you seen it?
Nope.
All right. A Complete Unknown was nominated for Best Picture. I know Pat saw that one.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely deserves an award.
Okay. Conclave. Did you see that one?
Yes.
Okay.
I love that one.
Okay, so we got two movies that have Pat's seal of approval. Ready for the next one? Dune Part 2. That got nominated.
Oh, no. I hated that one. Are you kidding me? I hated that. I mean, this is going to probably sound like an unpopular opinion, but I was never a fan of the Dune series. It was so boring. It was lifeless, dull, you name it.
Yep, that definitely sounds like Dune. I mean, I'm sure it has its fans, but it's just never appealed to me either. All right, you ready for the next one? Ready?
Yeah.
Emilia Perez.
Oh.
Yep, we knew that one was in the list. All right, next one. I'm Still Here. Seen that one?
Never heard of it.
Okay, moving on.
That sounds like the song from Treasure Planet, actually.
All right, next one. Nickel Boys.
Is that like a Nickelback movie or something?
Maybe people wish it was. I have no idea. Never heard of it. Next one. The Substance.
What's that exactly? Is that like
idea.
a drug substance use movie?
I have
a
no idea.
PSA on don't take drugs?
I have no idea. Never heard of it. None of us have heard of it. But here's the last one that was nominated for Best Picture. Ready? Wicked.
It totally makes sense. At least they have taste. I mean, things could be worse, right? I mean, at least they didn't nominate Madam Web or Craven the Hunter. That would have really been the straw that broke the camel's back.
That's the joke out of Naked Gun 3, where the winner of the best picture is the bomb, and it's Frank Drebin literally holding up the bomb that was meant to blow up the award ceremony.
Yeah.
But here we go. 3 out of these movies that were listed have Pat seal of approval. The only one that I've seen out of that is Wicked, and I agree that movie was awesome. When I saw it in the theaters, people legitimately applauded after the end of Defying Gravity. Not when the movie ended, but when Defying Gravity was done. Like, that's something I've never seen in a theater before. It was just like seeing the
Yeah, I
actual
think
musical.
my theater did too.
So, yeah, Wicked is an awesome film. It actually, I think, adds more to the experience as a movie than seeing it as a musical. So it's one of those things where they did it right. So my hope is that Wicked wins Best Picture, but you know they're probably going to give it to Emilia Perez because fuck us, that's why. Here we go for Best Actress. First one, Cynthia Erivo for Wicked. I can agree there.
Yeah, look, I guess she won.
She didn't win because the ceremony hasn't happened yet.
Oh.
We're talking nominations.
Oh.
or did she win a Golden Globe?
I wouldn't know. I don't watch award shows.
The best okay, in the Golden Globes, the best picture who won for drama was The Brutalist. Best picture for musical comedy. What? Emilia Perez won the Golden Globe over Wicked for best picture musical or comedy?
I told you the award shows are a joke.
What the fuck? Have you listened to the Wicked soundtrack versus the clips from Emilia Perez? From penis to vagina. Like, that wins over Wicked.
Mm-hmm. The Academy really is a bunch of stuck-up morons.
Really? Best performance
and
by...
And then people wonder why I don't watch the award shows.
So here is the Golden Globe for best performance by female actor in a motion picture was Fernanda Torres, and I'm Still Here. Male actor, it's Adrian Brody. Okay, good for him. Never saw what he did. Did Cynthia win a Golden Globe in her category? No, it went to Demi Moore for The Substance, which is again a movie that we've never heard of. So good job, Hollywood.
Yeah.
All right, back to the Oscar nominations. Possible that Demi Moore is going to win again. Whatever. Best actor in this 2025 Oscar. Your choices are Adrian Brody for The Brutalist. Never seen it. Timothy Chalamet for A Complete Unknown. You thought he did good in that movie, right?
Yeah.
All right. So Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing. Did you ever see that?
No.
Yes.
Okay. Did Coleman Domingo earn that nomination?
It's been so long since I've seen it. I wouldn't remember much about it.
Okay. So Ralph Fiennes in The Conclave. You think he earned that nomination?
Yes.
All right.
I mean, he's Ralph freaking Fiennes. I mean,
okay, Fiennes. I pronounced it wrong.
How can you not? You know?
Do award shows seem to be pointless nowadays?
We're basically just.
They've always been pointless.
We're reading the nominations, and we just read the Golden Globe results, proving how pointless they are.
You've been.
I mean, I guess Ricky Gervais said it best when he said that if you do win an award tonight, come up, accept your little award. Thank your agent and your God and get the fuck off.
They're basically there to smell each other's farts.
That's pretty much what they do. It's more of a publicity show than anything. Like, oh, look at the dress that she's wearing. Oh, look at his suit. You know, whatever. But the last Best Actor nomination is Sebastian Stan for The Apprentice.
Oh, Bucky Barnes got nominated. How about that?
He is a good actor. He's done some good stuff I've liked him in. You know, so he's come a long way from being in, like, I remember he played a part in Once Upon a Time. So I'd be good with seeing him win an award eventually.
I don't think I've seen Once Upon a Time.
It's a good show. I enjoyed it.
Oh, is that Disney spinoff or something?
It was on ABC. It starred Jennifer Morrison, who used to play Cameron on House. It was actually a really good show that added a lot of twists to the Disney shows. But again, so here we go for Best Supporting Actress. Monica Barbaro for A Complete Unknown. The next one, of course, is Ariana Grande for Wicked. I think we can agree there.
Yeah, makes sense.
Makes perfect sense. The next one is Felicity Jones in The Brutalist.
I think I remember her specifically from Rogue One: A Star Wars
Yes,
Story.
that's what I would remember her from. She was in The Theory of Everything. So that there's definitely some movies that we can remember her from. She was going to be Black Cat in the Andrew Garfield series before that didn't go on any further.
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed.
Isabella Rossellini in Conclave.
Hmm.
Nope. All right. How about Zoe Saldana in Emilia Perez?
Oh,
No.
hell no.
Here's the thing.
And I like Zoe Saldana, but I don't like Emilia Perez. I don't have any plans to watch it.
The sad part about that movie is none of us really knew about that movie until people like Nerdrotic and Doug Walker and a lot of the internet movie critic community started talking about it. Like, we would have never heard about it if not for all of that outrage over it, over the
Mhm.
13 nominations.
And
Yeah, I think Isabella Rossellini definitely deserves an award for Conclave.
But many people who have seen Emilia Perez have said that Zoe Saldana is actually the best part of that movie.
Mhm.
So it's like she's chocolate ice cream surrounded by dog shit.
Here comes the activists that will be saying something like, "Oh, people are just transphobes. That's all."
But that's the thing is, trans people hate this movie.
Exactly. So who the hell are they to tell us that we're transphobics?
But anyway, let's go to Best Supporting Actor. We're not going to do all the categories, okay? But Best Supporting Actor, so we have Yura Borisov and Honora.
Never heard of them.
Okay. Kieran Culkin in A Real Pain.
Oh, he was Kevin McAllister's brother in the Home Alone movies. I know who he is.
But the next one, Edward Norton in A Complete Unknown. How do you do in that movie?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Most definitely deserves a win.
All right. Guy Pearce in The Brutalist.
Don't know about it. Although I do know who Guy Pearce is. I think he was Aldrich Killian in Iron Man 3.
That's right.
That's how I know who he is.
That is right. Then we have Jeremy Strong in The Apprentice.
I just know of the actor. I've never seen The Apprentice. I just don't think I could watch that because I feel like it's just going to be an anti-Trump hate speech kind of movie.
We shall see. Best Director, Sean Baker and Honora.
Again, don't know about it.
Okay. Brady Corbett, The Brutalist.
Don't care.
Good. James Mangold, A Complete Unknown.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Jacques Audiard. If I pronounced it wrong, I don't care. For Emilia Perez.
No. Fuck no. Go to hell.
Yeah, exactly. Coralie Fargeet. I don't know if I pronounced it right. For The Substance.
Don't know, to tell you the truth.
But that's pretty much all we're going to talk about the Oscars. Fuck the Oscars.
Yep.
Unless people that we want to win. And if Emilia Perez wins Best Picture, then sodomize the Oscars.
I think they already do that to their whoever's they work with.
Yeah.
They're going to give it the Liam Hemsworth treatment. It's very obvious that the Oscars just do not reflect what people enjoy in movies. They appeal to a certain audience. And this Academy is just really out of touch with the everyday person. And one thing what we're going to do now is we're going to list, according to Box Office Mojo by IMDb Pro. So I gave you that link in the chat. Here are the top grossing films for 2024. Number 1, Inside Out 2.
Yeah.
Number 2, Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yes.
Yep.
Number 3, Moana 2.
Why?
I don't know.
I liked it.
It was okay. It's not the first film.
Number 4. Okay, Despicable Me 4.
Yes. That movie was fantastic.
All right. Number 5, Wicked.
Yep.
Yep, I can agree there. But Pat, read what number 6 is.
Oh, no. Why? Do you people not have taste? Shame on you.
So what is that movie, Pat?
What? Mufasa's on here? Are you kidding me? Who the hell put that there? Take it off. Take it off. Burn it with gasoline and fire.
I guess Bob Iger must have paid the Oscars to put that film for nomination.
Well, this isn't the Oscars. This
Yeah,
is just
for sure.
this is just worldwide box office.
This is crooked as cheapex.
Oh, that made me tear up, Pat. That was great.
And speaking of,
I mean, that'd be like if you put Madam Web and Fant Force Stick on here. You don't talk about those films.
No, you don't. But anyway, number 8, Godzilla and Kong: The New Empire.
One was okay. I didn't mind it.
All right, Kung Fu Panda 4.
It was good, I guess.
Venom: The Last Dance.
I don't know. I mean, it was okay, I guess. I don't know. I just think, they had no idea what to do with the Venom character.
So then we have Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
That I can actually agree with.
But don't be surprised if Mufasa ever beats it.
They won't.
Well, Mufasa is ahead of it in the box office.
Well, it shouldn't be.
Well, hold on. When did Sonic 3 come out? Did Mufasa and Sonic 3 come out at the same time?
I don't really know. Honestly, it doesn't make sense. I mean, Sonic 3 is a way better movie than Mufasa. You know why they're doing this? It's because it's Disney. Disney is so petty, they do not accept defeat, so they try to undermine the competition as best they can.
Well, here's the thing with that. It's Sonic 3. I mean, Mufasa and Sonic both did about the same domestically. Mufasa has a slight edge by like a few $1 million. Internationally, Sonic 3 wasn't released to as many countries as Mufasa was. That's the only reason why Mufasa has more international box office.
Yeah, well, again, it probably has something to do with the fact that it's a remake to a 1994 classic film, the best animated film of all time. So that's probably why. It's always recognition brand name that usually triumphs over the other. I don't know.
Who knows? Well, after Sonic 3, what's number 12, Pat?
Gladiator 2.
I didn't even
see the first one. I'm probably going to watch the first one at some point, but come on, Gladiator 2. I mean, that movie that movie wasn't even that great.
No, I heard a lot of people did not like it. The first Gladiator movie is a great movie. I will give it that.
Did it start that one actor, Russell Crowe or something?
Russell Crowe fighting around the world.
Are you not entertained?
And
my name is Russell Crowe, and boy, do I love a good fight.
And people pointing out that.
You know what the sad part is? He was in Kraven the Hunter.
Oh, Russell Crowe's been in a lot of movies that I've liked. Through. Yeah.
I fell asleep during Kraven, believe it or not.
Oh no. And well, the next one after Gladiator 2 is Beetlejuice.
Oh, yeah, that movie was fantastic.
I liked it too. After that, we have Bad Boys Ride or Die.
I actually did see that one, even though I didn't see the other films that came before it.
The very first Bad Boys is probably one of Michael Bay's best films, but that's not saying much. That's like being the nicest guy in prison.
Yeah.
Like Michael Bay has a few decent films, and the first Bad Boys is one of them, along with The Rock. After that, we have Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Eh,
Yeah, I thought that
that
movie
one
was.
was kind of a snooze.
Okay. After that, it's Twisters.
Yeah, that one was pretty good. I liked it.
Okay. And then going down, I'm going to skip over. So then we have number 22. What's number 22, Pat?
Are you kidding me? Joker Oh my god! Are you nuts? That movie sucked. I
glad
hated it.
Yeah,
It was
glad
as
I
bad
did,
as
yeah.
Madam Web. How can you possibly put that shit on there?
And well,
It's
like I
like
said,
putting a turd flaming yawn on a dish.
and
My
like I
God.
said, and well, I'm glad I didn't go see it.
See, that's the funny thing is I think you saw it like opening weekend, Pat, and you were like, "Oh, I'm so excited we're going to go see it." And I was going to see it until you told me it sucked, or until I found out from word of mouth that it sucked.
Yeah, I still stand by my opinion.
The people that made the second Joker movie, it was basically a fuck you to people who liked the first Joker movie. That's what it was.
Yeah. I'm looking at this list and they put the Garfield movie on there. Like, come on. That movie wasn't even that great.
No, but it made some money.
So did Inside Out 2, and let me tell you, I'd rather watch that over that steaming turd.
Well, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire is at number 23.
Oh, that movie was great. No
I
questions
enjoyed
asked.
it. It was
Case
good
closed.
nostalgia.
Alien
Oh, so-
Romulus was also fun if I really loved. Red One, I didn't really like.
Okay.
Never saw Fall Guy. Bob Marley I liked. But I never heard of Bob Marley. Well, I did heard of Bob Marley, but I never really listened to his music except one song. Nosferatu was just uncomfortable to get through.
Well, go to
Well,
number 38, Pat.
Well,
What?
I was able to watch the whole entire
Oh,
movie.
Civil War. Yeah, I definitely like Civil War.
That's number 34. But what's number 38, Pat?
Madam Web. I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, there are plenty of idiots in the world that probably seem to like it, and unfortunately, I have some coworkers that liked it.
Well, and then A Complete Unknown. That's number 40 in the box office for 2024.
I mean, that movie was great. Way better than Madam Web.
Now, okay, A Complete Unknown, that came out basically around the same time as Sonic 3 and Mufasa. So in all fairness, some of these movies that came out in 24 came out late in 2024. But the point that we're making here, and well, now with Madam Web, on the other hand, when did that one come out? That came out in February of 2024. So
Yeah,
that is
that
why
was
Madam
a giant middle finger on Valentine's Day for
it really
both couples and singles.
Yeah, really.
And as I do recall, Sony is thinking about selling Spider-Man since they couldn't get out of Spider-Verse.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Right. But
I mean, if I had a quarter for every time I heard that rumor that Sony was going to sell Spider-Man back to Marvel, I would have been rich by now.
And again, we also have to account for budgets and whatever. So Madam Web obviously was a huge box office failure. Whereas A Complete Unknown, I have to think that A Complete Unknown made its money back. So, but the point,
I don't think so. It couldn't even break even. Are you kidding?
Okay, but I know. But the point that we're making here is that we listed all the Oscar nominees, and some of them were seen by Pat, who is a big movie goer. The guy, if anyone would see these movies, it would be Pat. But a lot of the ones
I've seen Argyle.
Right.
That one was pretty good.
So a lot of the movies that we listed in the box office are the movies that people want to see, and Almost none of them are listed in any Oscar categories.
Night Swim was boring. Speak No Evil was a little hard to get through. Craven the Hunter was put me to sleep.
Well, there you go. So we've
Back to
got to
Black sucked.
Yeah, so we've got that far. So I know that there was a big Marvel movie that may not be as bad as people say it is, according to Pat. So what was your thoughts on Captain America Brave New World? Or as Greg
Oh,
liked to
that
call it,
movie.
as Greg's likes to call it, Captain America New World Order.
Uh, well, Captain America Brave New World was actually quite a bit of fun. I mean, I'll admit there were some problems that movie had, but it was pretty good for what it was. If I had to rate it, I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10.
So basically a C grade.
Right.
It is apparently the lowest rated cinema score out of all the Marvel movies. And many could say that it is another indicator that Marvel's on decline. It may be getting in $100 million over President's Day, but remember that Ant-Man and the Wasp made 20 million more, and that was considered a colossal dud.
Yeah.
So what
Plus, it
is
didn't help by the fact that it happened around the same time that that actor who played Kang in his variants got arrested.
well, don't beat up your wife, folks. There's your hard lesson there.
As I recall from what the director pointed out, saying that Red Hulk is supposed to represent Donald Trump.
Nah, I don't believe it. I personally would have compared him to probably the likes of maybe Joe Biden.
Oh God, if you imagine Joe Biden becoming Red Hulk, he would fall asleep like in 3 seconds.
Boom.
Yeah,
Boom.
yeah.
I'm getting angry. What was I saying again? Huh?
Yeah.
Well, as it is right now, according to the Rotten Tomatoes, it is a 51% critic score, but it is an 80% audience score.
Like I said, I don't think it was terrible. I still liked it. I've seen it twice now.
Pat has seen it more than once in the theater. That generally means it's okay. I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean, I would probably go as far as to maybe giving it a 7.5 out of 10.
well, Pat, you're not comic book nerd in The Simpsons where he goes, "That's the worst Star Wars flick ever. I will only see it 3 more times today."
Yeah, I will say one of the problems that I did had going into this movie was they kept talking about putting together the Avengers. Like it's honestly become a huge problem with most of their movies now. There seems to be a lack of any Avengers team. And it's likely we probably won't get an Avengers team till probably Avengers Doomsday.
I think probably people would be waiting for just the big ending. They've been so many Marvel films. They're like, okay, let's just wait till the Avengers assemble and then I'll go see it. That's probably what people are thinking. Well, speaking of movies that you also have seen, you said that you saw Dogman, Pat. How was that?
Yeah, that movie was great. It kind of reminded me of the Captain Underpants movie that DreamWorks made.
My 8 or 9 year old nephew, he loves playing Dogman on video games, so I'm sure he would have loved to see it.
And they at least got the one actor that was in Harold and the Purple Crayon to be in it to play the police chief.
You
And I
mean
like that movie, Harold and the Purple Crayon.
are you talking
All right.
about Zachary Levi?
Yeah, that movie was hilarious and just an absolute blast to watch. I know it probably didn't garner as much attention as it should have, and I feel like it should have. It was just a great movie.
That's all right. So you said you saw Heart Eyes. What did you think of that one?
Oh, that movie was intense. I loved it as much as it kind of reminded me of why I liked Thanksgiving, just both movies are set around a specific holiday and they got a twist villain in it and the way they execute it is just fantastic. And to have it be set around my least favorite holiday, which is Valentine's Day, just makes me love it even more.
Well, speaking of hurting for love, what did you think of Love Hurts?
That one was, I guess, fine. I mean, I didn't think I had a problem with it. I don't know. Maybe I just like the Hard Eyes one better. I don't know. I mean, I don't have a problem with Love Hurts. I thought it was pretty good, I guess.
Well, it has short round from Indiana Jones, so you can't be too wrong with that.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have a problem with this, so I would say it was pretty good.
And lastly, One of Them Days. What did you think of that one?
Oh, that movie was hysterical.
You heard it here, folks. You got Pat's seal of approval on pretty much all of the movies that we've just mentioned, even the ones that people say is not that good. Maybe you should just give the movies your try yourself. But
Yeah, and one of them days I've seen 4 times already.
nice. So now, something that I was definitely wanted to talk about with Pat, we have to talk about the final 5 episodes of Cobra Kai, which just got released 3 days ago as of this recording. Pat, what did you think of the Cobra Kai series overall before season 6?
It was probably one of the best shows that YouTube and Netflix ever made. I mean,
Agree.
it feels like this show should have never been great, It felt like it could have just been another one of the nostalgic bait shows that is just made for the sake of, cashing in on nostalgia. But thankfully, John Hurwitz and Hayden Schlossberg created a show that everyone could like. It manages to stay true to the original while also being something totally different.
I 100% agree. I was not a fan of the movies growing up. I will even admit my very first exposure to the Karate Kid universe was the next Karate Kid with Hilary Swank.
Uh, I think the first time I saw the original Karate Kid movies was, I think I recall specifically my mom, I think, let my cousin Brandon, when he was over, watch the original, and I sat down with my cousin Brandon, and I just instantly fell in love with the Karate Kid franchise.
Agreed. So, but again, what's great about Cobra Kai is that you did not have to be a big diehard fan of the original 3 movies to enjoy Cobra Kai. As in my case, I wasn't a big fan, but I was told, Anthony, check this out. You might like this show. And I remember it was the first 2 seasons on YouTube Red, and it was like New Year's Eve one of the years. So it was just season 1 and 2 that was out at the time, and I managed to watch both seasons in like a single night. Like I got hooked
So,
so fast that I
how
was like,
come you
"Oh
didn't
my
like
god,
the
this is amazing."
original?
I never said I didn't hate the originals. I didn't watch them. I didn't choose to watch them as much because I thought that the originals were just cheesy movies from the 80s. And I thought, okay, it's too much like Rocky, except it's for karate. But what Cobra Kai did is it eventually did make me go watch the first 3 movies and appreciate them even more. But again, the director of Rocky is also the same director as the Karate Kid trilogy. So you see the some similarities in the directing style. Um, and funnily enough, John Avildsen's son, Ash Avildsen, is directing a movie called Queen of the Ring, which also has Martin Cove in it. So there's a little connection there.
And wasn't he the guy that played Snake in the Karate Kid Part 3 along with Mike Barnes and Dennis?
I can't remember off the top of my head, but funny how things get connected there. So we were obviously big fans of the show, like when it went from YouTube Red to Netflix, and then season 3 came out. I couldn't wait to see it go, and then every season ended with a big cliffhanger. When I was like, oh god damn it, when's season 4 gonna come out? Wait, oh what wait, when's season 5 gonna come out? Like, it kept me hooked. Like, I can't, there's no other way to describe it.
Well, I suppose it could be worse. I mean, it could be like Rick and Morty where you just sit and wait a year or so for the next season.
Well, the last season was originally supposed to come out, I think, a couple years ago, but the writer's strike made it really difficult to
Oh,
get that
yeah,
season in
don't even get me
production.
started on that.
Those so you're good. Those are just your general thoughts on the first 5 seasons before we talk about the last before we talk about the last part of season 6.
Yep.
All right. So, do you think that season 6, the last 5 episodes, did they stick the landing and was it a perfect ending?
Yeah, I thought so.
I can agree too. It was as perfect as they possibly could have made it, or it was close to it. There probably
I
would be
just
some things you could nitpick here and there, but I think the happy endings that it did give made sense, and it's the endings that you wanted for all those characters.
yeah, like I wish they could have like acknowledged Ed Asner's character Sid, instead of just mentioning him through dialogue. I mean, I get it must have been tough for these writers to, have to let go of the character considering the actor they loved passed away, but come on, man. It's like the actor's dead, just let the character go.
I had always suspected that maybe off screen that they were going to have Sid die, and then Johnny was going to inherit a big $1 million inheritance, and then that was going to be his ending. But the way season 6 actually ended was way better.
Yeah, I don't know. And I think, had Chad McQueen not die, I think he was gonna finally appear in the season, but because he was already going through health complications and he died, we never got to see Dutch appear.
Yeah, that is true. So I got to ask you, who is your favorite character for either this season or the whole series?
Well, it's obvious. I think Johnny Lawrence.
So, do
I
you like the way that, how the show started with him and Miguel, it basically ended with him and Miguel?
Yes.
It was always their story.
Yeah.
So yeah, Johnny Lawrence, you instantly fell in love with him from the get-go at the beginning of season 1. You're like, you see him as this down on this luck guy. His life is out of order. And then over the course of 6 seasons, all the years, you see him grow into a guy who he gets a relationship with his son back. He gains a girlfriend now and then a wife and a daughter, and he gains another stepson out of it. Like he ends up with his life put together. How
Yeah.
can you not feel good for that kind of a story?
Yeah. I mean, it definitely made a lot of sense. Um, there is one other nitpick will mention. Aside from missing characters like Julie Pierce and Dutch and Sid,
Oh, that's
um,
right. Many people thought Julie Pierce was going to have a cameo, but I
yeah, none
guess
of
not.
the characters from the next Karate Kid never show up, which was kind of disappointing. But I guess considering Hilary Swank at the time was pregnant, she probably couldn't film any scenes.
I guess so, but I wouldn't. I was not heartbroken that I didn't see Michael Ironside from the next Karate Kid.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, this would have been a perfect opportunity to bring him in, have
no,
tie him back to like his time in the war with Terry Silver and John Kreese and Captain Turner and Master Kim Sun Young. I mean, they even say it online that, Colonel Dugan knew Terry Silver and Kreese, so why not
oh, he
acknowledge
did.
that?
Oh, he did. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's on the wiki page, you go look it up and it'll tell you.
That's wow. I didn't realize that. So okay, maybe it would have made sense to bring Michael Ironside
Maybe
back.
have him be the final boss. I mean, if you still want to like have Terry and John go out on a bang, no pun intended, that would be an excellent opportunity to have Colonel Dugan be the final baddie instead of Sensei Wool.
No, Sensei Wolf from the get go from the start of season 6, he was always built up to be Johnny's rival.
I
Like
mean,
he
okay,
was,
like you
he
can
was no
still
longer in a
have
rival.
Sensei Wolf, but maybe have Colonel Dugan be the final big bad.
No, since it,
He'd be like
no,
the Thanos of the season.
no, the Thanos of the season was Terry Silver.
Not exactly. I mean, with the way they were kind of going with this character, it just no.
Okay, but no, Sensei Wolf was always going to be Johnny's rival. That's how they built it up from the start of season of part two. Um, and then with Zara, she was always going to be Tori's rival. With Axel, he was never
Oh,
really going
she
to be.
was hot,
Oh,
fine
she
as
was
fuck.
great, and
You
she
know,
is legitimately a martial arts champion. She is a legit badass.
like I wish she was my girlfriend and wife.
Just check up her Instagram. She does post some videos. Just saying.
I wonder if she's seen anybody. I'll have to ask her out.
But no, Zara was always going to be Tori's rival in the season. Axel was always pretty much going to be Miguel's rival in the season. So Robbie's rival was always going to be Quan until he goes out with a stabbing.
Yeah, too
But
soon, I might add.
but anyway, so and now my favorite character of the series actually turned into Tori Nichols. She was kind
Oh, I
of a
thought you were going to
she
say Stingray.
well, Stingray was funny, but no, Tori Nichols, you see what she starts out as and then what she eventually becomes by the end of the series. She's almost like a female Johnny.
You know, it's funny. My mom and aunt actually despise Stingray.
Why?
I don't know, because they find him to be a complete dunce.
That's the point. That's the whole joke of his character is that he's a complete dunce. He's only able to beat up children or teenagers. He has no chance in a real fight against adults. Like that was the joke.
Yeah, I don't know. They just don't seem to like him, but I love Stingray. I
Stingray
guess
was
I probably should have added him as a favorite character instead of Johnny. I mean, I don't know. I like both Johnny and Stingray.
right.
I'm
I like
just
Tori.
sad that they kind of wasted Stingray a bit. I feel like had they taken the time to flesh out his character, give him a backstory through flashbacks, that would have at least made more sense as kind of a
No,
way to wrap up his story.
no, they wrapped him up fine. Okay, have him train the beginning little kids, like, and then have Johnny train the
Yeah,
advanced
but
students. That was
what
fine.
about that legal stuff he went through in season 3 and 4 with being on probation and the restraining order? I mean, come on. Are we just like gonna
Because
forget that ever happened?
he beat up a bunch of minors in a school.
Yeah, and he never got hired as the school security guard because of what he did. So it feels like there wasn't much consequences. And plus, he lied to the police or
True,
lied to
but
the judge.
anyway, no, but this is too much emphasis on Stingray because Stingray wasn't going to win the Sekai Taikai. It was going to be Tori. It was going to be Miguel. It was going to be
Yeah.
Johnny.
Maybe we'll get a Stingray spinoff. Maybe they'll
Oh, good lord.
acknowledge all that there.
uh, Stingray is good for a few lines here and there, but no, he does not need a spinoff.
I wouldn't mind watching it, actually. I'd rather watch that.
All right. But no, the arc from Tori, from being a delinquent, a juvenile delinquent, into becoming Sam's friend, and then Sam essentially uses Miyagi's teaching, and it means more to her that she trains Tori to beat Zara's ass rather than Sam becoming the final one or be winning the
Yeah,
finals.
but here's what bothers me. Like, when Tori lost her mother, she left with Kreese from the United States to go to the Seikai Taikai, and yet we don't even know what happened with her little brother or her snobbish of an aunt. Like, did her snobbish aunt win in the end and got her sister's money and got custody of Tori's little brother, or what? We don't know. Because they never bring it up again.
I think because Tori was able to get the LaRusso's help and go back to school and make all of her appointments and show that she's improving and she's rehabilitated, and everybody is vouching for her, that they were able to say, okay, Tori, you're good. So I think that's why. Like if that was kind of the situation there. And then now with Tori having the career that she's going to have, where she and Robbie are going to have really kick-ass jobs, of course she's going to be able to take care of her little brother.
So then, what about her snobbish aunt? Like, what happened to her?
Who cares? She's not part of the story.
Yeah,
She
but
doesn't she
like,
doesn't play a factor.
well, she kind of does. I mean, that one scene, made it seem like, they were setting her up to be a bad guy.
Yeah, but that was way back in what, season 3 or 4, or maybe
Yeah, but they
or
never
5. But
bring her
this,
up again,
she
and I
doesn't
was
need
kind
to
of
be.
disappointed.
She didn't need to be brought up again. I mean, it would be at the same time. Kenny and Devin weren't really big in the last part of season 3. Yes, it would have been nice to have Mike Barnes show up for the Sekai Taikai, but we don't see him. So the
Yeah,
part that he
and that
did
was another
play,
thing. Like, it seemed like he didn't get the justice he deserved, because Silver or Dennis burnt down his furniture store, and he was supposed to. It felt like he should have gotten the justice that he deserved.
well, we would like to think that maybe Daniel might have helped him out, since Daniel did have enough money to buy Johnny his old dojo back.
I mean, it
Maybe he
feels
helped
like
Barnes
this is
out.
something he's going to have to live with for the rest of his life.
Yeah, probably. But anyway, going back into the season. All right. So, favorite moments specifically for this season. I
Well,
loved
it would
John
most
Creed.
definitely be Kreese and Terry Silver duking it out on the yacht.
Yep, that was a good moment. But
It's
actually, that whole John Kreese face turn arc was, as a whole, was like a big moment of that season.
Yep,
Like, we suspected that he probably was going to go out as a hero, but the way he went out, the way he made amends with Johnny and Tori. In fact, that scene where Johnny and Kreese embrace, where you see the emotions out of William Zabka's acting and and Martin Cove's acting, these guys are Oscar worthy, if from those performances
okay.
alone.
There is one other plot hole I did notice. Like,
Okay.
after Kreese and Silver die, in the explosion on the yacht, it's never brought up again. Like, we don't see Daniel or Johnny learn about their deaths.
But that was the nature of Kreese and Silver, is they had the ability to just go back into the shadow. Like, Johnny had no idea Kreese was alive until he showed up at the end of season 1.
Yeah.
Like, they had
So,
they both had that ability to just slip in and out away from everybody. So chances are they may not find out until sometime later. And would it have made sense to have Johnny find out right before his big fight? Probably not.
I'm just like wondering though, how would they have reacted about had they found
I'm
out
sh-
about
I'm
Silver and
sure Johnny
Kreese?
would have
Yeah.
felt bad for Kreese, but he probably would have had zero thought about Silver. But he probably
Yeah.
might have felt bad because Silver did end up getting the tournament reinstated, and if it wasn't for Silver getting the tournament reinstated, Johnny wouldn't become the champion at the end.
Yeah, but
So
what about Daniel's reaction? How do you think he would have reacted?
probably sad, probably the same reaction that Johnny felt.
Yeah.
But we both agree that Kreese's face turn, the him making amends with Johnny was a big moment.
Yeah, and I feel like it Kreese and Silver survived. I think Kreese would have ended up getting arrested and sent back to prison. And Silver would have probably still ended up dying either way because we've learned that he was actually dying of a terminal illness.
Well, if they were going to play into that, they probably should have just had Terry go off in disgrace and just die alone with his thoughts. And with John Kreese going out, maybe John Kreese could have had the terminal illness,
Yeah.
and then he could have passed away. But yes, he might have escaped prison, but it was also proven that he was innocent of the crime.
Yeah, and that was just the thing that bothered me. I think Stingray should have gotten some probation again or be put in jail or on house arrest.
Exactly. He should
Something.
not be getting a spin-off show.
Mm, yeah, I don't know. I feel like they should.
That's all right. So any other thoughts on this season? Any other thoughts on this show before we wrap it up? I might do a retrospective where I watch each season again, because actually what after the ending of this season happened, it made me think, man, I want to watch that whole season story arc go again. Like
Yeah, same.
it made me want to restart Cobra Kai at the beginning of season 1.
Yeah. I'm just
So
kind of disappointed we never got acknowledgement of the next Karate Kid being the same universe.
you never know. Maybe she might show up in the Karate Kid Legacy movie.
I don't think so. I don't
Probably
think
not.
is even listening.
Yeah, but if that's the only complaint, then that's a good thing. If there's no complaint over the ending and there's no complaint over really the overall story arc, then the creators did their job. They stuck the landing, and it's sad to see the show end, but it's also good to see the show end the way it did. Otherwise, if
Yeah,
they had
that's
kept
how I
going,
felt about when My Little Pony Friendship is Magic ended.
right, and otherwise if they had kept going, chances are the next season would be bad in quality, or the magic just wouldn't be there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it would have ended up the same way The Simpsons and Family Guy and SpongeBob did.
Exactly. So, with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed all of us talking about movies and TV shows and entertainment. If you like what you heard, please leave a like and subscribe, and join our Discord server if you'd like to chat with us directly and maybe potentially be in a podcast episode yourself. I'm Desert Couch 22. Thanks for listening. Say goodbye, guys.
Goodbye, guys.
Adios.